Hello viewers, welcome to our lecture series on Indian ethos in management. And today I am going to discuss with you the very important topic of Omnijective Theory, which is actually acting as a new dimension of OD, that is called Organizational Development, and this is going to be part 4 of our lectures on this topic of Omnijective Theory. And previously I told you about the background, what exactly it is, the way it actually combines two different aspects, wherein we talk about creativity and rationality as two broad continents, and we are trying to combine, or what you can call is, we are trying to integrate both of them, and that is actually the philosophy of Indian ethos in management, because we believe in tu ano bhadra kritvo yanto vishwata, let noble thought come to us from each and every dimension. So it has actually been the long standing tradition or belief of Indian ethos, wherein we try to combine whatever is the best available idea, whatever is the best available thought for our business enterprise, and that we have been using. So we had discussed in the previous lectures about the background, what exactly it is. We also had a discussion from science versus religion to science religion combination, the way it actually happens, and I would actually give a brief recapitulation of what we discussed, and then we'll talk about the way mind travel and the physical travel, what are the ancient cosmologies versus modern technologies, because whatever we have been discussing, whatever we have been finding as part of stories in the past, nowadays it is actually becoming the reality. For instance, if we talk about thinking of life at other planets, so now the time has come when we are finding it to be a reality very soon. So the way mind travels, the way physical travel is being done, what are the differences between the two, and then we'll talk about towards our journey of transcendental OD, that is organizational development, which is having its nature of transcendental. So we had a discussion about traditionality to modernity, then cybernity and cosmonity. So this was a travel of the social transition from traditional to cosmonity. So whatever we are finding today or witnessing today, that has not happened overnight. It has actually taken a lot of time and patience, and it is actually a journey where we started from traditionality, and then we took a halt at modernity, and then we started talking about cybernity, and now we are actually looking towards cosmonity as the future, as the new reality of business enterprises. And I told you in the previous lectures of mine that the dominant form of collective experience, dominant economic activity and dominant organizational structure differs across these four stages, starting from traditionality to modernity and then cybernity and cosmonity. So now we are actually looking at a future where we assume the organization to be a home based, to have home based offices with remote. We believe in connectivity, information based processes, wherein we are having knowledge products, we are having service orientation into our economy, and then we talk about internet or interconnected fishnet, we talk about, which is now a new reality. So the old OD was actually rooted in the metaphor of science. With the incorporation of the sacred, the new OD is actually coming to the fore, to the front. So we have actually been talking about the logic, that is cause and effect relationship, that OD is basically a very scientific term which is rooted in the metaphor of science. But with the inclusion of the word sacred, the new OD is based on science religion combination, wherein we combine both of them. We don't deny to the power of science, but at the same time we don't discount the very relevance of religion, and we try to combine both of them, which is resulting into a brand new OD, I would call brand new organizational development. So when the sacred and secular are viewed as polar opposites, the sacred secular discussion turns into dichotomy of science versus religion, because some people they negate, they discount. So there is no point discounting the relevance of any of these two continents, because they have actually been treated as two different directions. So we should not leave them, any of them, either science or religion. We should try to combine both of them, because we believe into, as I told you, we believe into ano bhadrakritvo yanto vishwata. So instead of putting the debate as science versus religion, why don't we talk about science religion combination? And now it is increasingly recognized that both of these two continents, they have positive and negative aspects. So in place of having a debate on this, that which one is better and which one is worst, why don't we take the positive from each of the continents? Who is stopping us from taking the best out of these two continents, best of these two ideas, best of these two philosophies? One is very much logical and another is actually giving us various reasons to take a pause and trust whatever the religion says. So the negative aspect of religion finds expression in fundamentalism, which in any case we are not going to promote, and negative aspect of science finds its expression in misuse in any form. So we should not misuse the power of science, nor we should go for fundamentalism if we are following religion. So we have to actually be optimistic. We have to find the moderate way of looking into this science religion combination. So this is what I told you briefly in the previous lecture of mine. So I just thought of giving you a brief recap so that you can understand the need of this new vision, where science and secularization process create civil society, and the consequences of science and this secularization have been dehumanization of society and organizations. So we actually, what we need is the new vision, which is actually having a holistic perspective of looking at both the dimensions. So we may define sacred as a holistic impact of spirituality on human activity. So with this as our new vision, we can talk about modernization, humanization and spiritualization. So these three important terms are coming in front of us as a person from top management, where we have to find a balance among three. That is, I cannot deny to the modernization, I cannot, but at the same time we should actually be humanistic into our approach while implementing the business targets. So I am there to achieve the business target, but not at the cost of life of an employee. So we should actually have that humanism into our perspective, and then we should also talk about spiritualization of workplace. They are all essential for the achievement of the holistic happiness. So we cannot look at only one stakeholder, that we have the owner, we have the shareholder, and we have to make profit. And that is why we don't promote the Indian ethos in management doesn't promote the profit maximization as the ultimate objective. It says that we should go for the profit optimization in place of running into the profit maximization. So we should not run after profit maximization, we should talk about the profit optimization. So with this as a background, now we'll talk about another new dimension of OD, which talks about mind travel, the way mind travel. Imagine into our Indian scriptures, the stories are there where we can move, we can travel with the speed of our what you call as mind. And we say in Hindi scriptures that man ki gati se pahunch gaye. So we are basically traveling with the speed of our mind, that I am thinking of reaching to your place, you are 1,000 kilometers away from me, and I just thought of reaching to the place, and I reached instantly. The way my thought reached to you, my memory connected with you, I reached at that place. So imagine this new OD and the vision of sacro-civic society. They are basically based on this combined impact of knowledge, which is gained through the mind travel and the physical travel. So two different journeys are there, which we are going to combine together and then have a discussion on this, the way mind travels and the way physical travel is being conducted. So this entire discourse of new OD seems to be a fairy tale for some of the people, but I can give you some instances where you can connect and say, yes, this is actually a new reality. This is a new future when we look at cosmonity as the new future. After cybernity, we are looking at cosmonity as the future of business enterprises, as the future of our society. So the ancient cosmologies, they make sense to us, and they have still relevance for contemporary times and also the future, because they are based on the mind travel. So imagine there are stories where some of the characters in our scriptures, they used to reach to a place, to a desired place, with the speed of their mind. So mind also travels. When we talk about the physical travel, we cannot deny to the significance of mind travel. Imagine, you can simply look at the toy market nowadays, that you think of a specific type of toy for your kid, and it is available in one way or the other thanks to the technology. So the technology is there to help us, and what we can think, it can become a reality. What we can imagine, that can become a reality, which is actually the new order of the day. So while doing our business, we cannot say no to any of the imagination. We cannot say no to any of the ideas which is actually coming to our mind, and we are thinking of implementing it. So this ancient cosmologies, they still make sense to us. Some people feel that these are ancient cosmologies and they are part of history, we should forget them. Actually it is not needed. If we realize its importance, and we try to take a pause and just look at it from the neutral perspective, they have still relevance for contemporary times as well as future, because they were based on the mind travel. So, our linear view about the progress of knowledge, it is based on the physical travel concept. When we look at the linear view about the way knowledge has progressed across the time frame, we find that it is based on physical travel concept. And the speed of physical travel, we also know that it has been increasing. It is also increasing. The speed of physical travel, what it was 50 years back, it is not so today. Across the globe it is happening, not only in case of India, but even if you look at any of the countries which are technologically called to be the advanced countries, they are actually putting their best efforts to reduce the travel time in terms of physical travel also. So the speed of physical travel is increasing, and in future it is expected to increase further. And you can just relate it to any of the your city, wherever you are residing. You can find that earlier what was the travel time which you were taking, and now the time which you are taking with the increased construction, with the increased level of adequate infrastructure. So it may become possible for humans to go for interplanetary travels. We are now thinking of another step, that you can take a property on any other planet, and that can only be possible when you can travel. So it means we can travel there, life is possible there. So it may become possible for humans to go for interplanetary travels. And some people think that how can it be possible? 10 years back it used to be 10-15 years back it used to be to be mocked like this, that how can you think of having interplanetary travels? It was only part of stories, but now it has become reality. We all know that Chandrayaan 2, 3, the way the travel has been made, the way we have reached, we have put our steps there. So it has now become a new reality. So whatever I am telling you here from Indian ethos in management as a perspective about mind travel and the physical travel, that is not only the part of fairy tale, it is actually becoming a reality. So because of increase in the physical travel speed, it is assumed that ancient insights are not relevant for today. Increase in the physical travel speed, it is assumed, people assume, but we should not be driven by the assumptions. The ancient rishis, they undertook mind travel through thought experiments to unravel mysteries of universe. It is already documented. It is part of our history, where those ancient rishis, the spiritual gurus, they undertook mind travel through thought experiments, and it was vouched by, it was verified by many of their disciples, many of other people. So their insights are surprisingly similar to modern discoveries. Imagine, if you simply relate it to some of the preachings which are available, some of the ways of doing your worship to God, in those stutis it is written, in those lines, in those poetries it is written, and later on the scientists, surprisingly, they discovered it, and the value used to be the same. Like if we talk about the distance from earth to sun, it is already given in some of the some of the preaching, some of the poetic statements, some of the poetic constructs given by our rishis, given by our rishis and munis or tapasvis, they have given. So imagine they were not scientists, but still surprisingly whatever calculations they gave a distance between earth and sun, and we found the same by the modern discovery as an outcome. So don't we have a reason to stop and accept that yes, whatever they said, whatever is written, that is also correct. So after doing lot of research, making use of innovative technologies, modern technologies, the conclusions which we are making, it is already documented into our scriptures. So we should accept, we should honor those scriptures which are available. It may be indicated that there are two routes to reality. One is the Western scientific methodology, another is Eastern intuitive methodologies. We don't wish to create any line of difference between the two. We don't want to have any debate on the two. But when we are honoring, when we are looking at Western scientific methodology with all respect, with all honor, then why do we discount this Eastern intuitive methodology? We should honor it also, because whatever is the outcome of Western scientific methodology, that is already being said into Eastern intuitive methodologies. So it is a method of darshan, that is called the direct perception of reality, that you are perceiving the reality, you are having that idea, that reality in front of your eyes, and you are simply drafting it. So the darshan is basically which is called as direct perception of reality, is actually one of the method of Eastern intuitive way. So ancient rishis, they also used darshan technique to develop spiritual and secular knowledge. Many people they actually criticize our scriptures which are available and which are actually very much part of Indian ethos in management. They say that it is based on memories only, and we can't trust on human memories. Memories fade. But we find those ideas, those shlokas to be written by the way of darshan. That is, those rishis, they used to close their eyes, and they could find those mantras, those richas, those shlokas in front of them, and they used to simply write. If you ask them later on, then of course they cannot recite each and every line. Some of them could gain that level of connect, but not everyone. So the direct perception of reality is basically the darshan method, where they used to intuit that yes, this idea is coming in front of me, this shloka came in front of my eyes, and I simply wrote. I could see those shlokas written, and I simply wrote it on paper. So ancient rishis, they used darshan technique to develop spiritual and secular knowledge. This also explains the reason as to why many insights to reality have been discovered by modern science. So in general, we can say that the sacred worldview owes its origin to darshan, that is direct perception methodology, which is very much part of psychology. And mind travel and the secular worldview to the scientific methodology, and of course the physical travel. So it is basically, when we talk about the direct perception, it is a combination of both. It is basically science also. Science is also involved into that. So we are not saying that science is not there. Science is there. So we do have scientific methodology. We do have our own logic, cause and effect relationship. But we also have the secular worldview to this methodology, or what you call as physical travel. So why do we ignore mind travel? When both get combined, we get a new sacro-secular approach to life, which is actually the new reality, which is actually the virtual reality. So imagine now we are connected with the people without any wire. There is seamless connectivity. There is no wire between two instruments, and we are staying connected. So to operationalize this omnijective approach to OD, this concept of transcendental OD is presented in front of us, wherein the sacred and secular, both approaches, they find a new blend. So we are actually blending them together to find a new idea, which is called as omnijective approach to OD. And this transcendental OD is basically based on the application of, you will be surprised to note that it is based on what you call as TRY, that is transcendental yoga, TRY, where TR represents transcendental and Y represents yoga. So it is basically based on application of transcendental yoga in the context of business organizations, in context of corporate enterprises. So this transcendental yoga, with its roots in Himalayan experiences, it has many popular variants. I would give you those examples, that you would find those popular variants in different names. If you ask me about the transcendental meditation, I would say the name of Sri Aurobindo comes in front of us. So Aurobindo's group or collective meditation technique, Osho's dynamic meditation, then we have Ramchandra missions Sahaj Mark. We have this also. We have Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga technique, which they are actually evolving, and they are training their disciples or anybody who is willing to take part into that. If you look at Chinmaya Mission's idea, they have body, mind and intellect approach, BMI approach we call it, because normally BMI indicates toward body mass index. Here we talk about body, mind and intellect approach, Vipassana meditation and so on. So there are number of ways to basically this omnijective approach to OD, and it actually leads to the level of transcendental OD. So these are the some of the examples. You can find that different gurus, they had excelled into different dimensions of different aspects of transcendental OD, and we can very much imbibe these ideas into our business enterprise, and at least we can say with all confidence that we can ensure that there is no stress into the organization, there is no resistance into the organization, there is no clash or conflict among the employees who are working at workplace. Because there is no idea, there is no theory in Western philosophy where we can find how to stop the emergence of these conflicts, how to stop stress coming to us. They can only cure it. They can only tell us the ways and means to manage with those stress symptoms once they come, but they don't have any reason to root it out. They don't have any idea to root it out. It is the Indian ethos in management which says that if you follow these ideas, if you go for this omnijective approach to OD, and it will lead to transcendental OD, and it has no place for any kind of clash, resistance, any kind of competition. It talks about cooperation, that why are two employees are competing with each other? Why to put them into a race where they are actually becoming a bloodhound for each other? Why don't we try to ensure that both of those employees, they work together and they cooperate with each other? This is something which is actually the crux of the Indian ethos in management. So we don't believe into blind competition, we believe into the cooperation. So many of these variants, they have been found to be useful at the level of corporate enterprises also. And this I am not only saying because I am speaking about the Indian ethos in management. This is also endorsed by many of the researchers. If we look at the Gustafson's 1992 research, long back, he provided documentation of the application of this transcendental meditation at the level of organization, that in those organizations you can implement transcendental meditation, which is leading to the transcendental OD. So this entire concept or idea of transcendental OD is based on the sacro-secular fusion of the spiritual psychology and the behavioral psychology, because it includes the spirituality and science, it combines both of them. So it's pure psychology, it is actually a spiritual psychology combined with a behavioral psychology, which many of the Western thinkers, they could not realize the power of it. So this transcendental OD could help us in realizing the vision of transcendent organizations, because if your organization believes into this idea, then it can emerge as an organization which can be called as transcendental organization by the way of the sacred touch to the collective form of human life in contemporary corporate enterprises or business enterprises, or what you call as business organizations. So in this entire architecture of omnijective approach to OD, we find Western windows as well as the Eastern doors, which is leading to a new combination of the secular and spiritual. So my dear learners, here these two metaphors, these two statements, they are sufficient enough to make us understand the very magnitude of these two ideas. We are finding Western windows there, to work as a solution to our problems. But what about the eastern doors? Can we ignore the doors? And we all know that wind will flow easily and in greater volume when we are opening our doors. If windows are open, then of course it can make your home airy, it can make your organization airy. But if you close your doors, then of course that magnitude will not be, that flow will not be that high. So the secular approach actually talks about opening up of the eastern doors, which is actually the spiritual approach, which leads to a new combination of the secular and the spiritual. So we do have significance of both. We not only require doors but also require windows, because you cannot enter your home with windows, you need doors also. And if you have only doors, of course you cannot find the air to flow easily into your room. So we do have significance of windows and doors both, and that is a very good example of making you all understand that in place of debating about these two, we should try to ensure that they act as a complementary to each other. So with this, we may realize the new vision of sacro-civic society and the enlightened organization. So in essence, if you ask me to conclude, I would say the transcendental OD, modernization, humanization and spiritualization, if we blend them together, that will actually give us the new OD manifesto, which is now the order of the day. So with this, my dear learners, I tried to give you a brief and to some extent a detailed overview of omnijective approach to OD. I hope you must have enjoyed today's lecture of mine. Thank you so much.